Hey guys, welcome to new releases, Getting or Forgetting, for the week of December 30th, 2018. I have a bit of a confession to make. I have been doing a lot of filming while I have been off work, but I have not been as careful in terms of my upload schedule as I should have been, and I'm now quickly running out of time to get things like year-end favorites and New Year's Eve tutorial, all of that good stuff up before New Year's Eve is upon us. So you may get 2 videos today. I hope that's okay. So I have gone through what the new releases are. My second confession is that it is currently 1 in the morning. So I have pared them down a little bit. There really wasn't a lot to talk about. Even ColourPop took a break, thankfully. So this may actually be shorter than my normal new releases videos. And that's a good thing because it's going to help with the whole getting 2 videos edited and uploaded in 1 day thing. So let's do this. If you saw yesterday's video, you know that I am reining in my makeup spending. So I'm not going on a no-buy simply because I know for me that is going to be destined to fail. But I am limiting the number of times that I can place an order for makeup. I do the vast majority of my shopping online, and so putting a strict limitation on that is really going to weed out a lot of the extraneous purchases or the impulse purchases that I have been doing throughout 2018. The impact that that's going to have on this series is simply that most things are going to be a forgetting situation in terms of whether or not I intend to purchase it. So I am still going to continue this series, but I think it's going to be a little bit less in terms of whether or not I intend to buy it, and more so whether or not I want to buy it, or I am intrigued by the product or something like that. So I'm just going to shift the perspective a little bit, but it's going to be the same kind of idea. So let's just get into this already. First up, right off the bat, is something that really does intrigue me. These are from Blush Tribe. So first of all, I really like Blush Tribe products. I have 3 of their palettes, and I am blown away by their consistency, their pigmentation, blendability. I love the creativity in which she selects the shades that go into her palettes, and these pigments look phenomenal. These are neon pigments. They're going to retail for £3, 3 quid, if you will, each. Or you can buy the entire bundle of 9 for £25. So in Canadian dollars, it's usually about $2 for every pound or so. So it's going to be about $6 to $7 each, I imagine. And then shipping and all of that kind of thing. So I am very, very tempted by these, but I think that I would hold off on purchasing these until such time as I wanted to make a significant purchase from Blush Tribe. So if there was a palette, or we may as well throw it up here as well. They have new liquid lipstick shades coming out. There they are there. So there's 6 new sparkling liquid lipsticks that will be launching soon. I just have to accept the fact that metallic lips are going to be the trend and glittery lips are going to be the trend in 2019. I'm not fully against it. I have talked about this before. I'm not completely opposed to it, but it's just not something that I see myself reaching for on a daily, like a day-to-day basis. I don't feel as compelled about these products as I do about the pigments, but I don't really want to spend the amount that I would on the shipping for just 1 or 2 pigments. So I'm going to hold off. There will likely be another palette released because she is constantly working on new products, and she does really good collaborations with smaller influencers as well. And I really appreciate that. Like, I really like that. And I do like that she gives her collaborations room to breathe, unlike ColourPop. So I'm going to like put a pin in it at this point. But these neon pigments, oh my gosh. They just are so fun. So fun. Okay, Laura Mercier has released a product that I'm just confused by. I really don't understand this. It is Velour Lip Powders. They are a creamy powder that transform your lips with a matte finish and intense metallic sheen. They're weightless and have a velvety formula. They're available at Nordstrom and they are $28 US each. I don't understand. I'm guessing that the white strip on the side, you like apply it first, almost like a primer of some sort, and then apply the powder on top. It just altogether seems far too fussy for me. I'd want to see this like executed first. I'd want to see an actual try-on video before I would even consider purchasing something like this. But as of right now, I'm not even remotely interested. Again, it has that metallic sheen. I just talked about that. And this just doesn't look like a practical product to me. Like, I have an issue with mixed pans to begin with. At some point, inevitably, they're going to all mix together and just become one hodgepodge shade, which may or may not be flattering. And then if you're dipping into this white, I don't even know what that is, that could very well potentially become messy as well. And it seems like an awful lot of work. Give me a bullet lipstick any day. You throw it on, you go, it's done. This just looks baffling to me. I don't really get it. Natasha De Nonna recently released another mini blush highlighter duo, the mini Diamond and Glow. It doesn't have a price on it here, but it is available through Beautylish and on the Sephora website. What I recall from the last time they did a mini blush was that it was tiny. I didn't purchase it, but I remember people talking about it in YouTube videos and I think even seeing pictures on Instagram, and it was just like itty witty, little tiny, and it still costs like $25 or something. So this is one where the mini doesn't make an awful lot of sense to me. I don't think that the value is there in these mini cheek products. I think you'd be better off purchasing a blush that you love and a highlighter that you love in the full size, and then you're going to have them for ages. This it doesn't make an awful lot of sense to me given the size of it. Alright, so the creative development team over at NYX has been working nonstop. They've got a ton of stuff coming out. There are setting powders in a variety of shades. It says that it has a feather light formula which absorbs oil while leaving your complexion with a smooth, matte, and fresh looking finish. Comes in light, light medium, medium, medium deep, deep, and banana. I just get a kick out of that. Like, people are medium, they're light, they're deep, and then there are people that are just plain bananas. I know a few of those people. Those people keep me in business. I get that it's just like a yellow tinged powder meant to brighten. I get that, I'm just being facetious, but I like that banana is a descriptor now. I like the look of the packaging, to be honest. Like, I like that it has the little well and the powder comes up. It's not like flying all over the damn place. So if I somehow, by some miracle, make it through all of the loose powders that I have, I would definitely try this out, but I don't foresee that happening anytime in the near future. They have also jumped on the jelly train, which just all I'm picturing is like Thomas the Train, but really jiggly. Like I said, it's 1 in the morning. My brain does weird things at 1 in the morning. Alright, so these are the A Bit Jelly Gel Illuminator. They are $15 each. They are a water-based gel for the face or body, and they come in 3 different shades. I finally jumped on board and purchased the smaller version of the Versali Jelly Highlighter. I don't think it's for me. It's not, it's what I consider to be a fussy product. Like, it's just too much work, whereas I could just pick up a brush and a powder and go like this and I'm done. So the whole jelly thing just doesn't really do it for me. I'm not on board with it. However, I think it's going to be a big trend coming up, like jelly highlighters, obviously, jelly shadows. I think we're going to see a lot more jelly glitters, despite the whole ColourPop versus the originating brand, whose name I can't remember at this point and I'm not going to look up. Despite that whole debacle, I think we're going to see a lot more glitter gels coming up as well. NYX also has the hashtag This Is Everything Lip Scrub. They have the This Is Everything Lip Oil as well, but now they are adding a lip scrub into the mix. I got nothing to say about that. I don't know. And then they have the Born to Glow illuminating powders, which are $15 each. And they are designed for highlighting, although the shades look a little odd to me for that, but I mean, to each their own. We may as well stick with the whole drugstore thing. Milani is releasing some new products as well. I only screenshotted the one because it was the only one that actually like looked intriguing. And it is the Luminoso Glow Shimmering Face Palette. It's going to retail for $18 and it has a variety of highlights, blushes, and bronzes for every complexion, or so it claims. And I just think it looks cool. It looks like a sunset. I do think, given the shape of these pans, that it is going to be a rather impractical thing once you get right down to it, but I think it looks cool. It's not cool enough for me to go out and purchase, but I like the aesthetic of it, but I think getting a brush into those narrower points of the triangles is going to be impossible, frankly. But at least it's not a mixed pan. I will give them that. Rimmel has also just released images for their upcoming eyeshadow palette. This is going to be like, I don't know, palette number 6 in this whole collection of the Magnifies. And this is the Thunderstorm edition. I think they missed an opportunity here. When I think thunderstorms, I think deep, dark colors like pewter, gray. Sometimes you get that weird green in the sky as well, like just deep, dark, and moody. This is not that. There's a yellow in there. I don't really know how yellow fits with the whole thunderstorm thing. There's a lot of lighter shades. Again, doesn't really fit with the whole thunderstorm motif. There is like a deeper silvery pewtery kind of color. There are some blues and purples, but overall the name of the palette just doesn't really match what's inside of it. I like the idea of a thunderstorm palette. It's something different that I haven't seen on the market before, but at least for me, if I was creating it, it would not be the shades that Rimmel has used. But then again, they're Rimmel and I'm not. So who am I to say? But I just, even take that away though. Like take away the name and the fact that those shades don't really jive with the name. It's just a palette that I think there's going to be like maybe 3 or 4 standout shades and the rest are all going to kind of look the same at the end of the day. So I don't know, I'd have to see it in person. I have not used these Magnifies palettes before, so I'm not sure what the deal is with them, if they are really pigmented, if they're great drugstore options. If you have used them, please let me know down below. Like, do you recommend them? And what are your thoughts on this one? Not to be left out, Maybelline has also released a new product. They are coming out with Superstay Full Coverage Foundation in powder formula. And I really like powder foundation. I really do. It's easy, it's quick, it works. I just really like it. I would be very much interested in this if I didn't have like 25 to 30 foundations on the go, 2 of which are powders. So once those 2 powders are done, then I will purchase this. But I'm not going out and buying yet another foundation until I have finished a few of the ones that I have, because it is out of goddamn control. Burberry is releasing this in the spring. Have we not talked about mixed pans? I get the whole like plaid is their shtick thing. This is not a practical product. Like I really have nothing more to say about that. I just think this is kind of ridiculous, and you know it's going to be expensive, and I just don't get it. Here's a product that I will not buy based purely on its name. It's from Tarte, and it's called the Sting Zing Plumping Lip Serum. And it has jellyfish on it. And it has the word sting in the name of it. Do we think that this is going to be a pleasant experience? Because all signs point to no. I don't want anything stinging or jellyfish-like on my lips. Thank you very much. Hard pass. That brings us to our final product today, which is the Naked Reloaded palette. Okay, I've got a few thoughts on this. The first thought is yawn. It really doesn't look exciting to me. The second thought is that it looks like a warmer version of Sultry. If I'm really on my A game, I will compare the two in the pictures here. But the third thought is that this makes sense. It is the Naked Reloaded. It's not a new Naked palette. It is the relaunch of the OG Naked palette. For that reason, it makes sense. So I never had the original Naked palette, but if I am correct and if I'm recalling properly, a lot of people had complaints that it was all shimmers. There weren't a lot of matte shades to work with, so it wasn't really a fully well-rounded palette. So here we have a new palette that has, oddly enough, like 3 different pan sizes in it. I guess, you know what, honestly, aesthetically that looks weird to me and makes my eye a little twitchy, but they have used it on transition shades. That kind of makes sense. These are the shades that people are most likely going to hit pan on first, and so they've given more product. So I think that's good planning. Looking at the shades in here, again, like I said, it is very reminiscent of the Sultry palette, but a little bit more overall warm-toned. You know what? Naked was like one of the first neutral palettes out there. It became a cult classic. Everybody, apparently except me, had it. I have to sneeze. And so bless me. And so for them to bring it back as a new, revamped palette, the shade selection makes sense. It really does. It's not anything that draws me in. It's not anything that I'm going to be clamoring for. I don't really want it at all, to be honest. But for people who are looking for a well-rounded neutral palette, this is a good option. They did put the Naked palette on sale, and I don't like when brands do that. When they put things on sale, don't say that they're bringing in sort of a replacement for it. Get everybody like hyped up with this whole like, it's dying, we're putting it in the ground, here's our funeral, buy it when you can, and then sneak in another one right after people have rushed out to get it because they think that there's not going to be anything like it. What's her name? Huda Beauty did that as well with that whole rose gold thing. The original rose gold went on sale and it was all like, it's going, it's limited edition, never gonna happen again, blah, whatever, and then they brought out the remastered one. It's a load of bullshit. I don't appreciate that marketing strategy. I think it's shady, but if we're just looking at the powders in the pan, I think it makes sense. So there it is. All right, so this may ultimately not be any shorter than what I usually end up rambling on about, so there it is. Okay, it is now 2 o'clock in the morning, and I am going to get my little tushy up to bed. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now.